It's Friday, November 7th. In the headlines, government to assist small shops and markets to reopen in hurricane-affected communities. In business news, Scotiabank donates $165 million to hurricane relief. Regionally, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court opens its new headquarters in St. Lucia. And in sports, Oblique Seville targets 100 meters, 200 meters double next season. And Mount Pleasant FC advances to Caribbean Cup final despite 1-0 loss to Trinidad and Tobago's Defense Force. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has announced a series of measures to help small shops and markets reopen across communities hardest hit by Hurricane Melissa. Speaking at a special media briefing on Thursday at the office of the Prime Minister, Dr. Holness said that while the country remains in the relief phase, the government is moving swiftly to ensure that business operators can resume their livelihoods as soon as possible. He notes that targeted support will be rolled out to assist small businesses in restarting operations, beginning with supply assistance for those struggling to restock.
The local shops are closed. The local pharmacies are closed. Markets are closed. We need to get those stood up. The private sector has a role to play in that, and I see where they have started.
Dr. Holness says the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce has been directed to develop a comprehensive plan to support business operators island-wide.
They don't have electricity. That's one, and the second is that supplies can't get to them. The distributive trade, which, by the way, is an incredible logistics operation, they supply thousands of shops every day with trucks going all over Jamaica. That has been hit. And they can't call to place orders, and some of them can't access cash. So I've asked the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce to develop a plan to support the small shops in communities right across Jamaica to get them up and running.
He adds that beyond helping businesses reopen, the government plans to utilize small shops as storage and distribution points for relief supplies, expanding their role in community recovery.
Some of them may have a strong room, they may have a room or two where we can store things. That would multiply the number of areas that we have from which we can stage operations.
Following Hurricane Melissa, the government of Jamaica will receive a full payout of $150 million under the World Bank's catastrophe insurance coverage, backed by a catastrophe bond issued in 2024 by the World Bank. According to a statement from the World Bank, analysis carried out by third-party calculation agent AIR Worldwide Corporation concluded that Hurricane Melissa reached pre-agreed parametric triggers, qualifying for a full redemption of the World Bank catastrophe bond, which offers Jamaica financial protection against specified natural disasters. The analysis was based on the storm's central pressure and path, as reported by the National Hurricane Center. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says while he acknowledges ongoing relief efforts, his administration will be seeking to develop a new approach to distributing relief supplies as Jamaica moves from emergency response to recovery following the recent hurricane. Currently, the Jamaica Defense Force operates in 22 areas across the island using a hub and spoke model, transporting relief goods from central warehouses to regional hubs and then into affected communities. While describing the system as effective, Dr. Holness notes that it is costly and unsustainable.
The government can't stand up ADPEM with its own parallel structure of having all the people that would be necessary to pack the relief items, to load the trucks, to move the trucks to where they have to be stored, to clear the roads, all those little minor functions that make the big service works, and keep them and pay them throughout the year for every year, even when there is no disaster. Where that capability exists is in the JDF. Instead of carrying the bag of relief items, you will get something that is equivalent to cash, and you can go to your nearest shop in your area where we will stock and supply them, and you get your items.
He says reliable electricity and internet access will be key to the success of the initiative. The Prime Minister is urging Jamaicans to remain positive and united, warning against the spread of misinformation online that could damage morale. He was speaking at a special media briefing on Thursday.
If you allow people to cast your nation into despair and grief, to smother hope, to ignore the heroic efforts that people are making, and to just focus on the negative, then we'll have a negative outlook in a time when we need people to be positive in their outlook about our recovery.
Faith-based institutions were not spared the devastating impact of Hurricane Melissa when it slammed through the southern parishes of Jamaica on October 28. As we drove through Lacovia St. Elizabeth and asked for directions, residents pointed out the Vision Deliverance Center, led by Bishop Ulick Kelly, that lost its roof during the storm.
And we have to replace it. Some of the instrument they got wet up and so forth. And so we have to replace everything. So we are making an appeal to whoever can, no matter how small it is, we will appreciate it.
Donors can contact Bishop Ulick Kelly at 876-784-0238. That's 876-784-0238. Despite the damage to the church, Bishop Kelly is confident that the sanctuary will be restored, noting that it serves as a place of refuge for members of the community.
Thank you all for your prayers, and we will continue. I believe we will. Well, I know we will bounce back, and so God bless you, and continue to pray for us.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Yoni Epstein, the CEO of Intel, Jamaica's largest business processing outsourcing center, announced that its Kingston operations are fully functional. Epstein notes that the Montego Bay site is in the final stages of preparation for relaunch on November 6th. ITEL has welcomed hundreds of staff members back to its Montego Bay office, where the BPO is ensuring that everyone on site has access to meals, clean water, and ongoing welfare assessments. Scotiabank has announced a contribution of Canadian $400,000, which is approximately 48 million Jamaican dollars, to support relief and rebuilding efforts across Jamaica. The Scotiabank Foundation is also committing to provide funding of $100 million towards the island's recovery efforts and supporting the island's economic resilience. The funds will be directed to trusted government organizations and private organizations actively providing aid to affected families, communities, and Jamaica's rebuilding efforts. Group staff members are also organizing the donation of care packages to affected communities valued at almost 12 million Jamaican dollars, while the bank has committed to matching staff donations up to 50,000 Canadian dollars, which is 6 million Jamaican. According to an AM Best commentary titled Jamaica's Insured Losses from Hurricane Melissa likely to fall to reinsurers, they note that insurance penetration in Jamaica is low, as only a small portion of property is insured on the island, which will limit insured losses. Nevertheless, the ratings agency estimates that economic losses from the Category 5 hurricane will be in the billions, while noting that the primary focus will be humanitarian aid after the weather system. The company said it will likely be days or weeks before ascertaining insured loss estimates. I quote, "Insurance modeling in the Caribbean region represents greater challenges owing to disparate building codes and data quality, as well as their proximity and vulnerability to catastrophe," said Sidhar Manheem, Senior Director, Industry Research and Analytics at AM Best. For the trading period ending November 6, 2025, these are the most actively traded stocks. Atlantic Hardware and Plumbing Company Limited with 15,637,738 units, representing 50.99% of market sales volume. Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 3,022,254 units, representing 9.86% of market sales volume. Omni Industries Limited with 2,946,594 units, representing 9.61% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On November 6, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $68.50 million purchased and $72 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.18 per dollar, selling the US at $160.12 and buying the US at $161.30. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.14 per transaction, with selling at $113.16 and buying at $112.02. The British pound yielded Forex traders $1.69 in profits, with selling at $212.40 and buying at $210.71. For our credit report tip of the day, when life unravels, the job changes, bills pile up, the future feels uncertain, you start with one powerful move. Pull your credit report. It's not just about numbers on a page. It's a mirror showing exactly where to rebuild. You review every line, correct what's wrong, and make steady choices that restore your credibility and confidence. Each update, each on-time payment, each corrected detail moves you closer to stability. Rebuilding isn't about fighting. It's about clear, consistent action toward a stronger financial foundation. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court has officially opened its new modern headquarters in St. Lucia, a major step toward improving justice delivery across the region. The state-of-the-art facility at Orange Grove Plaza replaces cramped, outdated offices and now offers expanded courtrooms, judges' chambers, and upgraded technology to tackle case backlogs and improve access to justice.
On November 5, 2025, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court opened its new headquarters at Orange Grove Plaza, replacing cramped offices in the Herald in Rock building. The court, serving 9 member states, now has 3 courtrooms, judges' chambers, and advanced tech for digital recordings and remote access. The project, funded by St. Lucia's government, aims to clear case backlogs and ensure justice for all. Acting Chief Justice Margaret Price Finlay hailed the move as a milestone for efficiency and integrity, noting that it resolves the litany of occupational challenges faced at the previous location.
Inadequate space to house the approved complement of justices of appeal, along with the required support staff, and inadequate availability of parking for judges and staff. The rehousing of the ECSC headquarters in these newly constructed premises at Orange Grove has now brought an end to those challenges. It is a building which is fit for purpose and which provides adequate space to meet the present and future needs of the ECSC headquarters. More importantly, it is a new home that mirrors the dignity, integrity, and significance of the institution it houses.
St. Lucia Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre praised the building as a symbol of regional cooperation and modern justice.
The governments and people of the OECS have invested heavily in this institution, not only financially, but in faith. Faith that our judicial system will continue to stand as the guardian of our democracy, the protector of our freedoms, and the defender of justice for all. And so, as we celebrate this remarkable achievement, we must also look forward with expectations. The government and people of the OECS, and indeed, should expect even greater efficiency, transparency, and accessibility from our courts.
The Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Darlene John, says Trinidad and Tobago is ready to reintroduce itself to the world. Speaking at the launch of the Trinidad and Tobago Revitalization Blueprint on Thursday, she outlined sweeping transformation plans spanning infrastructure, the justice system, and cultural redevelopment, with over 50,000 jobs expected to be created in the process.
Youth Development Zone.
That thin line is really what I'm calling the South-South corridor, taking from the energy capital of San Fernando to the other energy hub in Mayaro. Right, that's a 100 kilometers of road, and that is already going out to tender. We have the first phase of that road from Taruba to Princestown already out to tender.
A major aspect of the plan consolidates the nation's justice system, bringing several facilities under one unified structure, including the creation of the Tamina Center for Justice.
We start with what we call the consolidation of justice. Carrera Prison Island, 25 acres. The Frederick Street, fondly called Dem Boys Jail by the mighty Shadow, and Golden Grove has 270 acres. We are talking about consolidating that into a major facility, one where we truly will have justice on time. So this is our Tamina Prison campus sitting on 500 acres.
The minister said with this consolidation, the existing prison facilities will be repurposed. The Carrera Island Prison will be converted into a resort. In the future, it will be known as Isla Carrera Resort.
When we consolidate our jails, we'll be saving upward of 40%, $60 million per year. All right, that is now being spent in keeping prisoners housed. So this is a beautiful island where we now have prisoners. So earlier when I spoke about the consolidation at this Tamina space, 75, we are suggesting this is a concept, 75-room boutique hotel with all amenities, etc., etc.
Among the creative redevelopments, the iconic Dem Boys Jail in Port of Spain will be transformed into an art and event space.
Further afield, the world's biggest trade event kicks into gear as thousands of companies from over 150 countries showcase groundbreaking products and forge new alliances at the China International Import Expo, a global marketplace where opportunity meets innovation. Marlon Samuels has more in this report.
Shanghai is buzzing with activity as thousands of exhibitors and visitors from around the world gather for the China International Import Expo, or CIIE. This year marks the 8th staging of the event, showcasing China's ongoing commitment to opening up its markets and fostering international trade.
The CIE is not only a port through which the global economy accesses the Chinese economy, but also a gate through which the Chinese economy opens up to the world. The CIE shares benefits with the world, and therefore, all countries support it.
Exhibitors from more than 150 countries and regions, including the Caribbean and Latin America, are displaying their latest products, from luxury brands to cutting-edge technology. The expo aims to promote global economic integration and create new opportunities for businesses of all sizes.
I'm here as a part of a group with the International Trade Center, empowering SMEs to be able to export our services to China. So SIAL Environmental, of which I'm the founder and CEO, is a food and organic waste consultancy company. And so we work with hotels, with governments, and with individuals, all about reducing and preventing food waste, diverting surplus food, and processing the inedible portions into value-added products like compost.
Of course, Caribbean projects is very unique in this CIE because from the rum we have here, it's very popular rum and everybody loves it. And also we got Blue Mountain Coffee here, and even Jamaica is not came this year, but Jamaica's product is right in this events. So we have nice coffee, we have nice seasoning powder, we have pepper sauce from the entire Caribbean area.
Chinese officials emphasized the importance of the event in expanding imports and strengthening international cooperation.
Companies seek profits and countries seek development. These legitimate interests are not reprehensible. In recent decades, thanks to free trade and the complementarity between countries, the world has effectively achieved common development and has experienced the fastest growth in human history. Now, we are facing more economic difficulties, so we must further develop free trade.
Visitors have expressed enthusiasm about the diverse offerings and potential collaborations. Many see this as a sign of China's continued openness amidst global economic uncertainties.
We can see that there are pavilions of medical service, intelligent traffic mobility, automobiles, cosmetic products, agricultural products, and importation of service.
It's important to be here because we have a lot of contracts, economic contracts with China, and the two most important products that China exports to Peru are, for example, clothes and cars. That is a bigger market that is growing in my country.
I think it's very important for a small twin island like Trinidad and Tobago to get this huge opportunity to display its products. This year at the CIIE, Trinidad and Tobago will be presenting products such as its Angostura bitters and Angostura rums. And this is the second time that Trinidad and Tobago will be presenting its products at CIIE.
The expo runs through November 10th. It's expected to generate billions in investments and further cement China's role in global trade. I am Marlon Samuels, reporting from the China International Import Expo for PBCJ News.
In sports, we're on the track with athletics. World 100 meters champion Oblique Seville says he plans to build more strength as he prepares to compete in both the 100 meters and 200 meters next season. The 24-year-old Jamaican, who won his first individual global medal at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo with a personal best 9.77 seconds, recently underwent successful surgery and expects to resume training soon at Racers Track Club under coach Glenn Mills. Seville ended Jamaica's 8-year gold medal drought in the 100 meters men and delivered a standout 2025 season with 9 sub-10 clockings, including 7 consecutive since the national championships in June. After suffering a heavy 5-1 defeat in their CONCACAF Caribbean Cup semi-final first leg to Mount Pleasant FC, The Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force needed a massive response in order to secure a spot in the final. Both teams met in the second leg in Kingston, Jamaica on Wednesday. Mount Pleasant advanced to the final, however, as they won the tie 5-2 on aggregate.
The Defense Force marched into Independence Park, needing to overturn a 5-1 deficit in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup semi-final second leg versus Jamaican opponent Mount Pleasant FC.
So here we go.
The Tetron men got off to the best of starts when the quick Shaquille Bertrand remained onside and had the wherewithal to find the rushing Kevin Molino, who slammed the ball in the net. 1-0 Defense Force, 5-2 on aggregate. Mount Pleasant's Raheem Edwards, who found joy in the first leg, almost scored again, if not for the rushing Defense Force goalkeeper Isaiah Williams. During a lengthy period of stoppage time, Edwards thought he grabbed the equalizer on the evening, but his goal was disallowed for offside.
Brought down, it's put past the keeper, but the flag goes up for offside.
It was a solid first-half performance between the posts from keeper Williams, as Defense Force went in 1-0 up at the interval.
And the first half whistle blows, so no additional time.
Kahim Thomas had an early chance in the second, but his strike couldn't pass Mount Pleasant keeper Tafari Chambers. With time ticking away, Chambers stood resolute, with the Tetron men still down 5-2 on aggregate. Shaquille Bradford thought he put the exclamation point on the match when he scored off the rebound in the 81st minute.
Knocked down, second chance, goes right through the legs of Williams.
However, after a VAR review, the goal was overruled.
On first glance, it looked like he might have been off.
The deficit proved too steep of a mountain for Defense Force to climb, as they won 1-0 on the night but lost the semi-final 5-2 on aggregate and will now contest for third place. For Mount Pleasant, their victory not only sees them secure a spot in the final, but also earns them qualification to the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Adrian Nazar, TTT Sport.
And that's it for the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBC Jamaica. Thanks for watching.